sure, you've seen who you're going up against, but the Harriv is not always early pick because there are ways to fight against it. But looking at this, if you're willing to pick it up early, there's two things. Either number one, you kind of don't care. Sure, you can have other heroes, you can have specific heroes that counter me, but at the same time, I can outplay it. Or number two, they have a bigger surprise. And I'm hoping for option number two of why they're picking up the Harriv this early.
And actually, Echo are the ones banning away that joy. I guess with a Harith in their hands, they don't really want two of the same kind of tools for their team composition. But against a Lolita, though, this is the concern, right? Echo has been so decisive and so aggressive. Against a Lolita against an aggressive team, just gets bumped around and gets that Numeron Bless cancelled. So that is something that Blacklist needs to try and keep in mind.
Yeah, and what Blacklist is presenting is the fact that we don't know which hero Wise or Haji is playing still. We don't know where this Valentina is going, but there's already a lot of juicy ults that Valentina can take. In the first phase alone, there's a solid Black Dragon form and a real-world manipulation.
Yeah, right now, because looking at Echo, again, let's talk about how they've been playing so far. Applying too much pressure, applying this over-sensory kind of thing with a Black Dragon coming towards you.
Yep.
Like, in real life, I'd be afraid.
Rather not, please.
I'd rather not, right? I'm walking, all of a sudden, I'm slowed down by having a cross underneath my feet, and then like in the air, now I got a link to deal with. Again, this looks kind of like a dive and a control kind of comp where you got a control coming in from the Eve as well as the Harriv. A lot of slow there, and then a lot of dive coming in from the Yuzong and the Ling. So you do not want to let Echo start things off. You need to find a way to kind of like push them away for a little bit. So now, Barats as well as Lapu Lapu getting picked up. Is this the right answers to what Echo is, showing problems to?
Again, in theory, on paper, it's the same idea, right? Three very beefy characters with a good source of magic damage and a good source of physical damage. Unfortunately, if you recall the first game, Echo has a very similar composition, and there they were using a Hilda to facilitate their aggression. Now they can use this Grok, so we'll have to see which one's worse, because of course, Blacklist was using a different composition as well. But this is going to be a very dangerous game, man. A lot of danger, a lot of engagement available for both these teams.
That's true, specifically for Echo, because it's so clear what they're trying to do, right? They want to shock and awe. We set up the box. If you want to fight in it, okay, you're lost. If not, we'll chase you down. But Blacklist actually set up a pretty good lineup themselves. You have a Lolita, a carry. It's a lot of good coverage. It's a matter of which heroes Haji can find with the IMU, and then how early Wise can snowball on his signature Barats.
Again, I just want to say this. Indonesian cameraman, you're the Indonesian sniper. Very, very impressive. But yes, we got to look into this game because all the cats like boxes. And we got a few cats here in this game. Number 4, Blacklist going up against Echo. Who will win the fight in the box and who will think outside of the box?
Off the bat, look at the amount of magic shops available for both these, the mystery shops for all these early game heroes, man. Echo for sure wants to try and start snowballing, and in the early stage of the game, you see that Vanny Cutie also has a Purify, so we're still respecting the potential for Blacklist to strike back with their own crowd control.
I think Blacklist wants to go a little faster this time, and they're showing it via their battle spells and their movement. Look at this, Oh My Venus going ahead and giving a little bit of their peace of mind to Carl Teasy, as well as the fact that they have 4 flickers. 4 flickers!
I do agree that they have to push the tempo a little bit. They got to move a little bit faster. But now the question is, where? Do you really want to put pressure into the jungle? And if you do want to put pressure into the jungle, what are you willing to expend? Because right now, Oh My Venus, he's really providing the vision. But I kind of want Haji to get that level 4 a little bit first.
Haji level 4 will definitely be a significant power spike, but the concern is with so many flickers on the side of Blacklist, they don't have a lot of purifies, and there are 2 absolutely solid engage tools in the Black Dragon form with the Petrify Furious Dive, and of course with Yaoi, Flicker, Wild Charge. So once level 4 rolls around, Echo has a chance to just completely shock Blacklist International.
Yeah, but it looks like these 4v4s, 5v5s aren't going to happen quite yet, because at least before this first turn, we're about 15 seconds away. Gold Crab going over to Carl Teasy here. Sanji spacing out Haji and Edward. Are we going to see a purple delay or they're just going to make a beeline for this turtle?
I kind of wish that Blacklist does put that pressure there. I just kind of feel like they want Wise to be a little bit more comfortable, get that 15 stacks, maybe off of this fight around the turtle, but in the mid, looks like Wise is there.
Dennis welcome answered by a Tempest of Blades. Wise put down to about a fourth of his health. Flicker spent by Yaoi. He's holding on to a wild charge. It's going to be for naught.
Wow, he went with a flicker, but he didn't really get anything with that, so it's a bit of a mistake, but Edward goes in 1v4 right now.
Bravest fighter answered by a real world manipulation. Newman on blast. No one home. Edward forced the flicker out. Echo with a clean take for that major objective.
So many things happening at the same time, but still nothing significant just taken by either team.
I mean, like, a lot of boxes were set up, but no one is really taking the bait. And with that being said, looking at the items right now, I'm already looking at Haji. It looks like he wants to be like a scaling kind of Valentina, going for the elegant gem. But right now, Sanji, no mana. It looks like Yaoi will be able to protect him.
You know, I was thinking that maybe Sanji was going to go for a bit of a glowing one early on, considering the amount of high HP members Blacklist have on their roster. But at the same time, with how often he's just casting spells left and right, I guess he really requires the Enchanted Talisman, lest he becomes useless in the middle of a very important team fight.
But looking at the items, I kind of feel like with the Elegant Gem, it might be a situation where he wants to go for a Clock of Destiny Lightning Truncheon combo, and if he does that, sure, he doesn't have a lot of cooldown to really like spam that Terrify, but because if he does take the ult from Sanji, then his real world manipulation will hurt, because that is burst damage going all over around, and hook damage right now, Sanford getting approached by 2.
Oh, that's a deadness welcome. Answered by a Bravest fighter, forcing out a Black Dragon form. Out of bounds, Sanford goes to save himself, and he will get away with it and save himself a death.
In a way, this is what makes Yuzong so much better than a glue, right? It's almost a guaranteed escape unless you get bursted down. So if you want to be oppressive, if you want to have to pull multiple members towards your lane, this Yuzong pick is just so flexible, and later in the team fights, it can be the deterrent they require to ensure that the carry cannot free hit with those very dangerous basic attacks.
I like whoever designed these kind of heroes like the Yuzong, like the Farside. Their idea is you can't die in the Land of Dawn if you're not in the Land of Dawn. But speaking of which,
that's just logic. Here we go. Real world manipulation. The stolen one from Haji. He is you. I am you. Oh, that's Carl Teasy caught out by the Numenon. Blast by Oh My Venus. Helping Wise secure not only first blood, but also the turtle. Clear win for Blacklist.
It was a preemptive flicker from Oh My Venus that just catches Carl Teasy. What a play, and Blacklist now has some momentum, a 1.2k gold lead, and Echo are the ones now considering how can they play against this, because the crowd control is lethal from Blacklist.
It's far from the Lafell threshold, 2k ahead, but can we even call Echo a scaling lineup?
okay, hold on, looking at the draft, kinda, but not really, because they really start getting online by 2 items, so you're not really looking at the 2,000 threshold. You're just like, okay, you got 2 items, you guys feeling comfortable, let's go for it, because we gotta look back like what happened just now, where Oh My Venus has 2050 vision, and I'm talking about the year, not the eyesight. He saw moving forward, this is where Carl TZ is gonna be, so that's where I'm gonna flicker. So with that kind of movement, Blacklist now 1.4k ahead, but concealed play, will they actually go for it?
They set up the box, real world manipulation answered with a wild charge. Oh My Venus in trouble, answered back, threatens the Numenon blast but falls regardless, and here comes Carl Teasy taking down Oheb, 2 for 1. Benny Cutie suffers the trade, but Carl Teasy will go ahead and whack away at this turret.
Oheb going in all in to try and just go for a trade there. It was a valiant attempt, but unfortunately not quite enough. And now Echo are able to reduce the gold lead down to 1,000. And with Carl Teasy just being so active around the map, he's a constant threat in the back of Black International.
Oh, Haji with the IMU real world manipulation, taking down the ult's owner. And now Wise gonna be very low here. Popped down by Carl Teasy. Black Dragon form by Sanford, splitting up the Ube. Now it's on my Venus turn. Wild charge onto the Guardian's barrier. Sanford still in the half Black Dragon form, pushed away by Edward. Flicker in by Oheb, securing the kill for Blacklist.
That is how scary Oheb is. But now Benny Cutie tries to fight.
Zaman Force helping him dash on through, but Oheb gets more than a few pinwheels on him. Sanji goes for the trade. It's 1-for-1 in mid.
It's a back and forth slugfest, and Edward's still sticking around with no HP. What is going on?
Oh my Venus. Void Crystal.
At the game where it looks like my Venus was taken down.
There you go. See, I was wondering, like, was it worth it for the shot callers to force this out? Now, Carl TZ a little too late to the party. Gonna go on this wall with Sanford as only support.
Whoa.
Tempest of Blades up, plus a Retribution, but it's not enough. It's Wise who secures it.
That is unfortunate, and I feel like Echo is just trying so hard to just make so many things happen, and Wise just takes the purple just under the nose of Kaltizi.
Second time, Dua. Second time that he stole the purple.
Dua Kali, and now look at this. They're freezing it up. They're already starting it. It's like, okay, that's what you want, and now they want Sanford, and they got it.
It's a lot of damage, and despite how tanky Sanford is on the Dude song, this carry damage is insane. I thought he was still in the Black Dragon form earlier, but I guess it wasn't. The Luminous Blast just ends his fate there. So now Echo, despite having a snowballing lineup, they are the ones falling back behind, getting closer and closer to that LaFell threshold.
Two things here. The Black Dragon form only really provides you so much extra HP, right? And second, the Orcas are getting the treatment that the King of Kings suffered in the hands of Blacklist just a few nights ago, right? They were doing the same thing, like, I will only take the big buff and leave the little one so that if it does respawn, you don't see it.
Sometimes mercy is not good, man. Showing mercy to the little one is like, I'm not gonna sacrifice you. You didn't ask for this.
Regardless of the size of your opponent, you give your all.
Exactly. Now, Wise getting trapped here.
Oh, Zaman Force set down by Benny Cutie. Kaltizi waiting at the wings. There's a knock-up on the three members. Sanford, though, takes way too many pinwheels from Oheb. And he goes down. Yaoi next in trouble. And Haji with the RWM of his own. Out swiping, out tapping Sanji. That's 2 free kills going over to Blacks International. They're going to convert into this tier 2 in mid, and Wise going to continue stealing away, choking Carl TZ of his purple buff.
Blacklist already at a 4K gold lead. And look at Wise, man. Echo initiated that fight by using everything onto Wise, and he wasn't even taken below half HP. He's just so ahead right now, and Carl TZ trying to buy some time, trying to make a play happen here, but it's looking bleak for him.
Oh, run, Kyle, run! That's 3 members forced out with Index Blades, plus the tail end of the bravest fighter stunning him. He's down to 1/8 of his health, just using all the energy he can. Spotted up by Oheb, and he cancels the recall. He's here, right in the middle of both mid and top lane inhibitors. The Filipino sniper has his man.
Getting closer and closer to the 100 kill. Right now, Blacklist with almost 4,000 gold lead. Edward pushing Yaoi away, and now Blacklist looks like they're getting this Lord for free.
Echo might have to slow this down, even though they're supposed to be the aggressors. They need items right here. Because with a few select items, Sanford can still be a huge menace, can one-shot Oheb, unless of course Oheb has some precautions against that. So I think they have to try and get some small power spikes before they can even use their tools effectively to try and shut down the offense coming in from Blacklist.
Now let's talk about Oheb again. Is now ranked #1, numero uno, numero satu in total kills in M series with 233 kills, just surpassing you guys of 232. Right now, Black Dragon form looking like just trying to push them away. Is he gonna engage? Not yet.
Successful defense by Echo. They're still waiting on a wave from up top. It looks like there's still some left in the tank of Blacklist. Luminum Blast charged up by the Queen.
Ooh.
Calling it off. Nope, never mind. Wild charge coming in. Yaoi the aggressor. Tempest of Blades knocking up one. Down goes Oheb. Down goes Benny Cutie. Yaoi pays the price. Carl TZ getting on out of here. 2 for 1 so far. Make that a 3 for 1. That's Haji taking down Carl TZ, and the mid lane inhibitor is going to fall. Blacklist pushing the advantage.
4 members available right here, and 3 members still respawning from Echo. Sanji is trying his best to try and delay this, but look at the damage coming in.
Oh, the Terrified keeping this even play. Sanji needs to heal up, and Sanford backing out. Here comes Yaoi. Sanji takes down Edward. Agent Zero is down for now. Echo pushes out Blacklist. They live to see another day. Wild charge plus RWM making sure that no further damage is done to their base.
Echo right now is really holding on, looking at the items. I'm looking at the heart, already having 3. The Holy Crystal, the Calamity Reaper, it should be enough, but Wise, he's barely taking any damage from Echo.
Oh, Zaman Force plus Black Dragon form. No hold for the Numenon Blast. Oh, I'm in trouble. Carl Easy gets him. Wise, the next one on the docket. Carl Easy falls. Wise as well. It's a 2-for-1 so far, and Echo wins this engagement.
Despite everything, Echo actually comes out on top there. They're able to just deny OHEB any chance of participating in the fight. But right now, the real question, the real problem is Haji on that Valentina, man. He is doing a lot of damage because, as Lafel mentioned, he went for the Clock of Destiny Lightning Truncheon and he has a Divine Glaive at this point. So Echo, they can't rest easy just because they take out OHEB. And look at that, engage though!
Oh, the battle for the purple buff! Will Oh My Venus fall for this? The answer is yes! Benny Cutie gets 1. Oh, but he falls himself. Haji, the KDA machine is way too farmed up. He steals the wild charge, pushing back the remaining members of Echo.
I was a roaming, but I'm going for this mage role, this mid lane role, just because of how you can really change how you play with the hero just by adjusting the items, because Haji going for a more bursty kind of build, even if you're like kind of tanky, you're kind of like not really all that tanky, going up against Haji building this like very aggressive, heavy damage kind of build on this Valentina.
The combination of the 2 different damages from Blacklist is something that Echo needs to try and deal with. Of course, with the more items being built, they can have the option of just stacking physical defense and then bursting down Haji, or vice versa, stacking up some magical defense and bursting down OHEB instead. So options are definitely still available, and with the goal being down to 2K, Echo can still definitely make a game-winning play.
Look at this Orca pod rotation. That's 5 members north of the Lord. Wise and Edward have eyes on them, but I'm not sure if they know how many members exactly. Concealed play, popped in. Can they find him? Haji as well. Steals a real manipulation. Numenon Blast as well. No one home answers back with a wild charge plus Black Dragon farm. The full combo suffered by OHEB. He's the first casualty here. Benny Cutie as well. Haji is godlike. Someone stop the KDA machine. He gets 2 kills. Sanji falls. Now Sanford the only one left. Can Edward finish him? Sanford backing out. Oh My Venus looking for that stun. It's 3 members of Echo left. And Blacklist International relentless. They want to take down Sanford. He's going to survive. There's a wave here. Can these 3 members of Blacklist finish the job? The answer still in the air. There's one big siege minion here. Numenon Blast set up by Oh My Venus. Wild charge by Haji. It's stolen. No more minions here. Yaoi very low. Can they finish him? Here's another wave up top. Carl Dizzy doing his best. Tempest ablaze on. Blacklist International retreats.
Woo! What an intense defense from Echo.
Oh, wait, is it a defense? Sanford going in here, Leo.
I'm not done, says Sanford. Oh, but maybe I am. He's very low now. Stunned up by Oh My Venus. Pop with a concussive blast. Oh, maybe he shouldn't have done that. Now he's thinking twice.
I mean, like, here's the thing. We keep talking about there's a line between bravery and stupidity. I'm not saying it's stupid, it's just like, depends on the result. You can call it whatever you want. But speaking of which, Betty Cutie just picked up a very crucial item to make sure that he can survive in the fight. Speaking of which, Lord very low.
Edward with the bravest fighter, compromising Sanji, forcing out a real manipulation. Edward does get him down. Yaoi gets his recall cancelled by Oh My Venus with a blind Numenon Blast. In comes Carl Dizzy, knocking him up. OHEB secures the Lord. Down goes Carl Dizzy. This is MVP on MVP violence. Now Yaoi pushed out, and look, a split pushed out bottom by Benny Cutie. Not tonight, Benny. Not tonight.
Not possible, and unfortunately Benny gets taken out, and so does Sanford. It's only Yaoi alone against the full roster of Blacklist International. This might be the end, Leo.
Oh, the writing's on the wall, 2-on-1. Yaoi can't do much here. He's gonna bite it as well. Blacklist International takes us to Game 5.
Absorbing the cheers from the agents, absorbing their energy. I mean, come on. Is there any other way this best of 5 could have gone?
We have a full series on our hands, boys. It all comes down to the final game. Winner takes all between Echo and Blacklist International. And now the stakes are higher than ever. and both teams have had ample time to feel each other and try and see what they want to, how they want to do this in the final game.
How exactly is gonna come down to this best of one? And both teams have pulled out their aces. They've had their aces deal damage to each other, cause violence, get into a Royal Rumble. Carl Tizzy and Oe pulled out all the stops here in Game 4. And again, did we not see this coming? Did we not see this coming? Of course it had to come down to this.
I mean, M Series MVPs. Now it's Game 5. And look, they were playing while wanting to go to the toilet because he's not going straight to the room. I can't remember who it was. It was like, okay, you go first. I kind of need this.
Yeah, I'll catch
right
up.
now.
Edward. I think it was Edward.
All right, so right now looking at